Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to make takedowns in Z Model 3 for non-ELS vehicles without using any extra lights or without using any extra sirens. So this should become very handy for most developers that who like to have the takedown functions on their vehicles. So the first steps what we're gonna do is to merge some dummies that I made previously into our game or into our Zima. I'm sorry, don't know why I said game there. So the first we're gonna do is to merge those lights. If you do not have the mesh set up for the light bar, you can use actual one and all those collisions that I provided there. But if you already have the thing set up, you just need to merge the lights #1 or 29. I'll explain to you guys very soon what each lights are functions for. So excuse me. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you the light #1. This one is supposed to be for a dimmer white color light that you can use for probably like visors on sound off signals, interior bar. That's what you can use. It's somewhat dimmer than the one that I'm gonna show you next. So the light 2 and the light 3, those are a little bit brighter, and you can see I will show you right here that you can see the difference. So you see the light #1 is the middle one. It's only end up right here, and the other two lights are brighter, so they are a little bit further. So that's what you can tell the distance away, like how far the lights will travel in game. Um, let's see. The next we got is light 4 and 5. So those are for the side alley lights. Let's see what color is this. So this is right. What you can use for is the steady burns. Those are not very bright because you can see how far it only travels. So the further it travels, the brighter it will be. The wider it goes, uh, the wider it goes, the more ground it will covers. So let's show you the vehicle. As you can see, it's pretty well. It seems like really bright in Z mod, but in game it's not that bright. So don't worry about that. So this one is for your side cruise lights, like if you want to use like for Code 3 light bars or Liberty 2s, or I don't even know if Liberty 1 have those cruise lights, but you can use those dummies for your cruising lights. I already have the red and blue setup in here. So say example, if you want them to be all blue, just change the color to the blue right here, and press OK, and make sure you just apply what you changed. And next one is the 6 and 7. Those are supposed to be takedowns. And of course you can see they are way brighter. Well, they're bigger than the other one. But you can see it's bigger, but in the game it won't be that bright. So I already test all those out. So you don't have to worry about anything else. Just to fit them to the light bar, and I will show you how to fit them in to make them like 90% work in game. So the 8 and 9, those are for the small alley lights that I'm going to use today for this Liberty 1. Because you can see on this Liberty 1 light bar, right? It's only have the 3 dots right here for the, I think it's tier 3, I think. Not too sure what you call them. So today I'm going to use those for my side alley lights, and I'm going to use light number 1 dummy for the 2 takedowns at the front. So now we just need to delete the stuff that we don't need. Let's delete that, and I'll just change the light number to light 1, light 2, and light 3. And of course I need to create one more dummy for it, because at the front we have two meshes. So let's move that away, and I will do that. Alright, so it's been created. We'll just do 2 for that, and 3 for this, and 4 for that. And the limit on this one I haven't tested out yet, but they supposed to be work. Doesn't matter how many lights that you're gonna put on here, I think, because I've been putting like 9 lights on here as I showed you guys before, and it works perfectly fine. So I don't see the issue why it won't work, with like 10 or 11. different lights that you want to have for the side or rear or front, you know, all that stuff like that. So now we have the dummies out. The next thing we need to do is to get your mesh. So I have mesh. So I'll have actually 7 and 8, and let's unlink those, and then we'll have the light bar right here. Let's unlink that as well. All right, perfect. So what we need to do is to make a simple, make it to L0. So you want to compound it. So if you don't know how to compound it, you shouldn't be doing this. So you want to convert to compound to 0. L0 is fine for this step. You just need something here to make sure it's working. Or you don't even need to compound it, but I do anyways. So we have our actual 7 for the side alley and actual 8 for the front takedowns. And let's do the takedowns first. So the front takedowns, let me select both of them, you know. I mean, this should be easy for most developers. And of course you can see I have lights down here, but this one's only going to be a tutorial, so I won't be put all the lights where they're supposed to be. So I'm just going to show you guys how to simply do this. You just want to move this back here. Alright, so here's the key. Alright, so when you have those being set, you want to make sure that the what you call this, you want to make sure the dummy is actually not hidden behind of the mesh. You want it to show in front of the mesh, so that way, you know, somehow the game won't recognize it if you're moving it. But this way, when you're moving in game, the game will still recognize the dummy. Somehow that's what I figured. It works better than the most time, but this is the only way that I found right now that works better. So you just want to move the other one over, like we made a copy. Alright, so as long as it stayed in center, that's all good. It doesn't have to be perfect centered. As long as it's centered, that's all that matters. So you can see the 1, 2 are at the correct spot. You want to check on the top view, front view, and left or right view. It doesn't matter. Just to make sure, you know, it's at the right spot where it's supposed to be. And of course you can see that for the light bar, it's kind of like tilted because that's how it's mounted on the vehicle. So you want to hide actual 8. You want to select it and show actual 8 and show the light bar. You want to use the rotate tool, have your X and Y selected, and you want to press X to have your dummy centered right here. Sorry, let's do that. And you just want to move it slightly tilted like that, so it's shining on the ground, you know, so that way the line is somewhat it looks a little bit more realistic when your light bar is look like this. Alright, so that is been taken care of, and let's move on to the next. Oh well, not yet. Well, so we want to put the actual light 1, 2 in light, well, in actual 8. And now what you need to do is create a collision for it. Well, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know how to create a collision for it. If you don't want to create a collision, you can just use whatever I provided in there. It's been so long since I used the collision that I provided down in the description, but you can still use that if you want. But sometimes I just prefer to just create a new one for myself. And you want to display it and center the axis. And now you just make a copy and just drag it over. And now you just want to attach both of those. Select it, display, do that, center the axis. And now we just need to name it extra underscore 8 space bracket COL and make a collision for it. Alright, well, extra 8 is done. So the front takedowns, now you will have the ground environmental lights when you have the takedowns on. And let's put that where it's supposed to be. And now let's work on the side alley lights. Basically, it's the same steps. All right, guys, it's the same steps. Everything's the same. Just need to move where you want it to be. Originally those dummies are fitted for C50's Legacy, I think Legacy, and on Kane's 21 FPIU. I think that's what the dummies originally for. I can't remember. If you are in Cartridge Discord, I have like a tutorial in there as well in his developer chat that's been pinged, so you can go in there to check that out if needed. So for the set alley lights, of course you can see it's already been tilted, so that way we don't need to worry about that anymore. What we need to do is just to put them in here and again make a collision for it. So now before I move on, I want to show you guys how to make that dummy. Alright, so there are a couple of ways that you can do it. You can go to create and go to spotlight. So you just want to click it and then click a random spot to get your spotlight. Then once when you create the spotlight, you want to go to your properties. So you want to do the configuration first. So the range, that's the distance, and you want to change the color and fall off and all that stuff. You can just change all of them in here, right? And spotlight cone angles, there is a website I think it's on LCPDFR, or I can't remember which website that is on, that will explain to you how the spotlight cone angles works in GTA. So you can just use based off that to change all those numbers right here. And once you get that all figured out, go to user define option. So the power and the flags 8, 9, and 11, you want to have those three on. And the time of day means that like window will be on. So 0 to 23, that's it will on no matter what. Doesn't matter the time. So it will be basically on all the time. And the volume color, you want to change the color for it. And rest of the stuff, you just want to just copy what I have over here. And basically that's all. That's only if you don't want to use the dummies that are provided in there. You think, you can do a better one. Of course, you can, create your own dummy, but doesn't matter to me how you want to use them. As long you have them for light #3 or light #4 or 1 to 9, 1 to 20, I don't know. I do not know the limit at this moment. I haven't tested that out yet. But so far, you can use as many as you want from what I've seen so far. As long, you have enough, you're not taking all the hierarchies. I think the limit for that is 128 for ZMod 3 in FiveM. So, yeah. So that's that. Now let's make a collision for it. Let's see. Let's use this front view. I don't know. I just prefer to use front view a little bit better when I'm making collisions. So I can just move on to the left, drag it and fit it and do whatever I need to do with it. Go here. Object, again, select it, display, center the axis, create a copy. Another way you can do it, you can just mirror it and you will work the same. So mirror and you'll move on to the other side. And of course you need to make a small adjustment because I moved the centerpiece or that thing right there. Forgot what it's called. But yeah. So I just need to move it over. You can do both. It doesn't really matter how you do it, as long as you can get it to work. That's all that matters. And that's that. You need to display and center the axis. And now we just need to rename it to extra_7 bracket and collision COL. Like that. Collision convert compound. Boom. That's it. And now I am going to go into game and show you guys how it works, and I will see you in game. Alright guys, now we are in game. As you can see, here's the Tahoe. and I'm going to show you guys the takedown. So here's the actual 8, and you can see it's working perfectly fine, and you can see the ground environmental on the vehicle with the 2 dummies. You can see that. And now let's move around. You see, let's move around like that, takedowns. Now for the side lights, let's just extra 7. You can see it's working as well since we angled it. And there you go, that's the Tahoe that you can see. So I don't know how good you guys can see on your screen, but on mine it's like pretty bright. Of course, if you don't think that's bright enough, you can always change the settings and to make it brighter and stuff like that. But so far everything works perfectly fine. Again, like I said, it's not using any extra sirens, or it's not using any extra lights. And you can use your extra lights, 1, 2, 3, 4 for other stuff, for like your spotlights or any stuff. But for your takedowns on the light bar, this is what you can use. So thank you for watching this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to join my Discord, and I will put a link down below, and I'll put the dummies download link down in the below of the description as well. So I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will see you guys next time.